Well, I don't really have a lot of time to make videos, unfortunately. But I've experimented with talking with Google Gemini, and we're talking as in conversational uh, lingua franca. The microphone is used, and it's speech to text. The text is interpolated by the AI, and despite uh, what do you call errors in the onboarding of your words into uh, uh, verbal format. As you know, English is very convoluted in certain um, terms, especially ones that are heavily populated with, Latin or other languages, and other words like, for example, the word lead, Lead, and the word lead, Led, or the word lead, Lead, as in the heavy metal. Um, so it's not perfect by any means, but more or less you can get the point across. And then, as long as you don't use sophisticated, confusing terminology too much, uh, Gemini is able to uh, extrapolate what your inquiry is and then provide a response. And then I've also noticed that there's also follow-on responses um, suggested. So in some ways, it's to keep you talking and chatting. So, but instead of something, like in the old chat bots in the old days where it'd be uh, much ado about nothing, this one uses science and interpretations about different aspects, especially having to do with hard sciences and things. So, what I want to do, keep glancing over because I can't run over my time limit here because I gotta be somewhere. Um, and when I talk, I lose track of time. So I gotta see what time I'm at. Well, okay, I can do about an 8-minute video. And according to this, I have a little ticker. It says 2:45 right now. So okay. So anyway, what I want to do, and from the limited interactions I've had, I get so aggravated because due to my, as many of my followers and fans and frenemies have known, I work 2 different careers simultaneously, and then I have whatever side gigs and jobs and what do you call hustles, whatever the vernacular is, and I really have no time to just sit there and talk with an AI, which I want to do. Um, it's going to be something that I've thought about how cool it would be. In the old sci-fi videos and movies, often for example, in the Star Trek franchise, there was usually a ship's computer that you could ask it questions and whatnot, or ask it for functions or things like that. And in some ways, it's almost like that, where you're able to, the real life Google Gemini, you're able to ask it for information. And so, where it deviates from looking up information, say with a Google search, or going to a library and looking for things, is you're able to have nuances and follow-up questions, and you're able to ask for information faster and more intuitively than you would be able to in any other function I've seen. Maybe the only faster way would be like mental telepathy, or something like that with an AI system, which, with the different brain monitoring equipment and things like that are coming down the research development pipeline. I mean, who knows? You'd be able to think things directly into an AI and conversely get responses. Um, so anyway, I think this weekend I'm going to sit down and somehow film an interaction with um, Google Gemini. I would like to really explore um, kind of providing a sort of inquiry and theoretical framework, and then I'll let Gemini do the heavy lifting as far as where that goes. And um, um, I'm aggravated because I could literally spend weeks talking to something like that, getting information and following all the different um, uh, the different, I guess, offshoots and breadcrumb trails and things like that, where a single inquiry could leave in dozens or hundreds or thousands of different kind of like a spider web of inquiry. And I would sit there and just follow each thread and see where it goes. So um, I'm aggravated because I'll have a creative thought or something, and then in the limited interactions I've had so far, it could branch out into so many different creative and useful ways, and then I can't pursue it because I'm limited for time. And then the way my mind works is things go stale. Like, I won't remember this. I would call it like a save state, like with video games. My mind has save states that are irretrievable. I mean, you can somewhat, I guess, re-emulate it, but in that time and I guess zone mentally, I can't. There's some things I won't recall outside of that moment. So it's pretty. It's an amazing. It's almost like being able to visit an amazing place, but you can't stay there. You're only there for a few moments, and then you have to move on. So, at any rate, and the other tragedy too is some of these responses I'm getting are so detailed, so well worded. I'm just like, this has got to be recorded somewhere. It's so valuable. This was not available a year or 2 years ago, and then and it's of such a high quality in a lot of cases, and then yet the value it's not valued. It's like having too much gold or something. Like the value would diminish because rarity has diminished, even though previously it would be highly valuable, and now it's like nothing. Like a little bit of fresh potable water in a desert is highly valuable, but a little bit of fresh potable water here in eastern Washington, not so much. I mean, it's literally falling down on from the sky right now. Um, Even though it's the same stuff and it is valuable, but it's information. If you get too much, it becomes valueless, even though it's high quality in other aspects. So, um, okay, my time's getting too far, so I've got to cut this off. So I don't know if you got any questions I want to ask. That well, no, I don't know. I mean, you could write something in the comments, and I might do it, but at the same time, I don't want to taint my inquiries with someone else's inquiries, because everything is synergistic with that. So you don't want to mix, I don't know, marmalade with Tabasco sauce, if you know what I mean. Okay, it's Military Industrial Museum, and we'll see where this goes.